Welcome back. The next example, we've got this set. So if I set it up, it's an augmented matrix. We've got -2, -2, 10, 10, 6, -30. So right away what I'm seeing is that -2 is a multiple of 10, so I could multiply it by 5 and add them together to make this a 0. So I'm going to choose to replace row 2 with adding 5 times row 1. And that should give me a 0 in the lower left-hand corner. So upper row stays the same. And then down below we've got 0, 0, and 0. Alright, so we've got all zeros. If I was there, I would ask, what are your thoughts on this? Because I'm not there, I'm going to have to tell you that this means we've got infinite solutions. Infinite solutions. Something you may have noticed before even solving this is that these are multiples of each other. So if you notice that they are multiples, you can stop right there and you can just write that they are multiples, so that is why they're going to have those infinite solutions. If I was there, I would also ask, what would your reduced row echelon form matrix look like if it had no solution? Well, I'm just going to tell you, it would, instead of having all zeros, you would have some numbers up top, and then on the bottom you would have zeros on this side, but then over here you would have some number, like 2. So what this is saying, here it's saying x equals 5, but down below it's saying 0 equals 2. But 0 does not equal 2, so that is why this is no solution. So if you ever get, like anywhere in your matrix, all zeros in a number, that's no solution. If you ever get all zeros all the way across, it's infinite solutions right away. And you can stop there. Alright, challenge. We're going to do this with 3x3. Lots of fun. It's going to take us a little while. Hopefully the video doesn't run out. So, set up the augmented negative. If you want to try it on your own first, you can pause the video now, give it a shot. If you just want to follow along, you can do that too. I would highly recommend at least trying it, just because it's interesting to see what you can do on your own. Alright, I'm seeing right away I have a -1 here, which is really close to the positive one that I want. So I'm just going to multiply my row 1 by -1. And that's going to give me the 1 that I desire. So we've got 1, 5, 5, and -2. And everything else is the same so far. With matrices this big, if you want to start combining steps, you can also do that. I'm not sure if I will. We'll see as we go. So, one goal met. Next goal, we need zeros down the rest of this column. So, I'm thinking adding, probably do row 3 plus a negative row 1. Oh, or just doing row 3 minus row 1. Yeah, which is the same thing as what I said. Okay, perfect. So, row 3 minus row 1. So everything else stays the same. So row 3 minus row 1, we get 1 minus 1 is 0, 5 minus 5 is 0, and -1 minus 5 is -6, and -20 minus -2 is -18. Alright, well that helped us with 2 goals. We got zeros in both spots, so that's nice. Next step, I'm thinking I want to get this to be a 0. So I think I'm going to do row 2 plus -4 row 1. You can totally do different steps than me. Like, I have a notes sheet in front of me and I'm doing different steps than I did last time. It's just whatever steps you need to do to reach your goal. So row 2 plus -4 times row 1. So that's going to give me a 0 here. -20 plus -5 is -25. Let's see. negative 4, so negative 20 again, plus 4 is negative 16, and then 19 plus 8 is 27. I apologize if I mess up on my mental math. It's hard to do it while recording a video. All right. I'm feeling like I shouldn't have deviated from my steps, possibly. I'm thinking we could get, let's make this to a 1, because that might help us get rid of other things. So I'm going to do negative 1/6 times row 3, and that'll give me a 1 in this corner. 1s are really helpful because they help you get to zeros, so I try to get as many 1s as I can. Alright, so this 1 could then be used to get zeros up here. So if I multiply this 1 by 16 and then add it, that would give me a 0 here. So let's try that. So we're going to do row 2, that's what we're going to replace, plus 16 times row 3. So top row is still the same. Middle row also the same. Oh, just kidding. Middle row is what we're replacing. So we're doing row 2 plus 16 times this. So 16 times 0 plus 0, 0. 16 times 0 plus negative 25 is still negative 25. And then 16 times 1 is 16 plus negative 16 gives me the 0. And 16 times 3 plus 27 is going to give me 75. And the bottom row is the one that's not changing. Ooh, 25 and 75 are multiples. And they can both be divided by 25. So let's use that. So we're going to do negative 1 over 25 times row 2. So we're going to get a 1 and a negative 3. We're so close. Okay, so now these 1s can be used to help us get rid of the 5s. So using that, we can do row 1 plus negative, so row 1 plus negative 5 times row 2. Let's do that first. So row 1 times, so 0 plus 1 is 1. 5 plus negative 5 is 0. And 5 plus 0 is still 5. And here we've got 15 plus negative 2 is 12. One more step. So now we just need to get rid of that 5. So if we do the same step except using the 1 in row 3 to get rid of that 5. So this time we're going to do row 1 plus negative 5 times row 3. And that should take care of it. So times the zeros, we get the same thing. Negative 5, we get a 0. And then negative 5 times 3 is negative 15 plus 12. Negative 15 plus 12 is negative 3. No, negative 15. Yeah, negative 15 plus 3 should be, hold on, let me think about this. Did I make a mistake? Negative 15 plus 12 should be negative 3. We've got 0, 1, 0, negative 3, 0, 0, 1, 3. Alright, so my answer key is saying this should be -2, so that means I possibly made a mistake. So I'm going to go back and check. So I'm going to pause this while I figure out my mistake. Alright, the mistake has been found. This should be a 13. So then when we add the 13 and the -15, we should get -2 here. So what that means is our final answer is x equals -2, y equals -3, z equals 3. So you'll notice, even I made mental math mistakes, so it's really important that you go back and check your work, or just go really slowly without the time pressure of a video. Alright, next step. So you guys have, or I guess this is all the steps that another teacher took, probably similar to mine. You can find RREF on a calculator. The Inspire, I bet there's just a button that says RREF. On the 84, if you do like the second math or second matrix, and then you go over to like the math section, one of them says RREF, and you can use that to find the reduced row echelon form of your matrix. Practice. So using the calculator, try plugging these ones in, see if you can get them. And then using no calculator, give this one a shot. I'm not going to show all my steps because I want you guys to try this one on your own. If you want to pause the video now, and then I will go to the answers and you can check your answers. Alright, here are your answers. So number 2, you hopefully got no solution because you ended up getting zeros. So you ended up getting like 0, 0, 0 on the other side, a number, and you can't have 0 equals a number. So that one would have been no solution. Number 3, you got -4, 0, -2 with the calculator. And for number 4, you get -1, 0, 3. So if you are lost on that, please talk to me later, or you can talk to our substitute because she should be able to help. Alright, this is the end of the lesson for today. Please do your homework now. And that is the back of the worksheet that you got last class. And I will see you guys soon.